little story I got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well.
If you ain't first, you're last. And a name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. And Donovan has scored! Oh, can you believe this? Go, USA!
Friday, September 8th. It's the Greenberg Hat Trick episode number 5. Another wild week in the world of sports, but we're here on a downer with the U.S. men's national team. We had such high hopes for them, as we all predicted. Easy wins last Friday against Costa Rica, and that wasn't the case. They lose 2-0 to Costa Rica and then followed it up with another terrible performance in Honduras, only managing to tie it in the 84th minute 1-1. Yet, because they're in CONCACAF, they're still in line to make the World Cup.
Yeah, they're in line, but obviously the team they are and in CONCACAF with not such hard teams, like their only challenges are Mexico and Costa Rica. They should be in a better position than what they are right now. Like, hopefully they will, most likely they'll still make it in the World Cup, but it should not be coming down to the final two games like this.
1 point from 4 games against Mexico and Costa Rica.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's true. Yeah, they lost both games to Costa Rica, and then they lost the one at home, and they tied in Azteca, which was Michael Bradley's first and only good moment he's had in a while.
We'll get to that, but Seth, thoughts so far?
I just think that CONCACAF is stupid because USA is lucky to even be in this position right now. A team that has 2 wins in 8 games, 2 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses should not be going to the World Cup.
Just comes down to the fact that the USA needs to win their games, especially at home, because we can start off with the Costa Rica game.
Yeah.
You don't lose at home. You
don't
just don't lose at home.
You don't get shut out at home.
You don't get shut out at home. You don't not show up to that game, which they pretty much did. They started off well.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Because Costa Rica sat back, and that was the game plan from Costa Rica. Costa Rica wasn't really going to push for the offense. They were going to go for a 0-0 tie, get out of New York like that, and be fine.
I think USA missed a bunch of golden opportunities, and not only in the Costa Rica game, but also in the Honduras game. The ref was...
Well,
it's something I really... I hate blaming the ref. You should always try to blame your team or blame yourselves for the situation, but in both games, the ref
we can get to the ref.
awful.
That's part of the talking points
Wow.
from both games, but just on the performance...
Who was it? Was it Dempsey that got booted in the face practically? And
in the Honduras game, yeah.
It's crazy.
But it's not that they missed their chances, especially in the Costa Rica game. They wasted.
Yeah.
Completely wasted. And that's a problem. It shows lack of focus, lack of concentration, and if you're supposed to be the kings of CONCACAF or the 1 and 2 with Mexico, you need to bury your chances. You can't let these teams have second chances at you and survive. And people can make fun of CONCACAF and they're not good teams, but these CONCACAF teams know how to play.
We're missing our secondary players, though. 'Cause I honestly thought that Josie played well, and Wood and Pulisic. They were unlucky and they weren't connecting with each other, but they made the runs, they made the movements, and the passes were behind. They weren't connecting with each other. But I thought the 3 of them actually played really well against Costa Rica.
That's part of it, though. If they're not connecting, it doesn't matter how good they played.
I think part of it's the management, though.
I 100% think
How
it's
do
the
you
management.
change the lineup that much into your second game? Just you lose a game. You have to build
There were
the team
some
together.
yellow card problems. They had some
to build
yellow
your
cards.
team together. You're changing all your players. You're changing the dynamics,
Exactly.
the chemistry. You're saying they're not working well together.
Well, let's start here. You're missing Yedlin, you're missing Brooks, and you're not calling Chandler into the lineup, which I think is a big problem. But
Fabian's coming back from his injury.
Fabian is on 100%.
Josie had yellow card suspension. He wasn't able to play.
No, we're talking about the Costa Rica game first before the changes
fine.
before Honduras. So the back line's already shifted. Zusi is not really a right back, but he did fine against Costa Rica.
But apparently in the MLS, that's his position now.
Yeah, because he's converted to it, but he wasn't a grown player with the right back. And then the decision, let's go and pick a player, and it's Tim Ream. And he got his chance, and he blew it. And we root for every single American player to do well. It's not like we think this player's bad, this player's better. We want the best 11 out there, and it was Ream's chance. And he didn't take care of it.
He blew it. Tim Howard also was very disappointing on the
Howard
first goal.
was disappointing. The kick that led to the turnover where Costa Rica countered, and then he was way out of position. I don't know what his angle was for that goal, but the shot should have never gone in.
Yeah, that was really disappointing. And then the player that you would think out of all players on the team who has possibly the most experience on the highest level, Jeff Cameron, who's been playing in the EPL 150 games, you can't turn the ball over like that. He literally just gave the ball to the other team, and they scored for the second goal.
He just had an off game.
Yeah.
And you can't have these off games in these home qualifiers because you're building something and you're building your wins here and to start back over.
I'm still saying I think it's something with the management and the.
I think Bruce Arena's the wrong person to have. I think it was a short-term hire.
They don't look the same. I can't think of the word I'm trying to describe right now, but they don't have the same look on their face. Like they don't have the desire, the will to want it as much as they used to. Like you used to see them play, and they would play with heart. They'd play with passion. Like they're just going out there and whatever.
When Bruce took over right away, that's when we won 6-0. That was like the first major game basically, and we won 6-0 against Honduras. That was the first time like he actually took over, and it was like a meaningful game. But ever since then, like nothing really special. Like, they tied Venezuela. They beat Trinidad, like, yippee-doo. Beating Ghana in a friendly, who cares? Like, the Gold Cup, still, really, who cares about the Gold Cup? They haven't really been tested. And when they finally got tested, they were squashed.
Then again, though, and I know we've been so negative and it's going against what we've been talking about, it literally came down to 3 plays in these 2 games.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Because Costa Rica wasn't that threatening in the games, and Honduras wasn't that threatening in their game. It just was 3 mental, stupid mistakes that the U.S. made, and these CONCACAF teams are going to bury their chances, which the U.S. wasn't doing. And they're teachable and they're fixable. That's the thing. As we're still a month away from the Panama game, but it is kind of doom and gloom with the way they've been playing. But it can be easily fixed. And they have a month now to play with their clubs to gain that confidence. And they know now the Panama game that there is no more chances. This has to be a win. A tie is not acceptable. First of all, it's home. And like we've been repeating, any game at home against CONCACAF needs to be a win. That needs to be the motto going forward for this team. If we're trying to make soccer big, if we're trying to be a respectable national team, we need these results. And people are worried about how they perform. And to me, it doesn't matter, but you have to win. And these other teams know they have a goal, and they meet those goals. USA Soccer is like, we need to play this, we need to do that, we need to do something different, and it complicates things. They just need to get the wins. And they're just not doing it.
The last time Panama has beaten USA in a meaningful game was in 2011. Like USA at home. It was in 2011 in the Gold Cup, which is, again, like I said, it's not that meaningful, but that's the last time USA has actually lost to Panama. So we've got a good record against them.
Not really. The last 2 games have been 1-1 ties against Panama.
A tie will do, though, at this point.
A tie's not good.
No. What are you talking about?
You're going against what I'm saying. USA Soccer needs to win at home.
They should. They don't... I don't
No,
know.
needs to.
Otherwise,
what are we striving for?
If Honduras gets an upset, USA is now in 5th going into your final game.
Like you're speaking like I don't know, like a mid-table Premier League team where like a tie is okay and acceptable.
Well, I mean, he is a mid-table Premier League team.
That's true, but like maybe it's me who hasn't really grown up with soccer all my life, and I'm super competitive. But every single game, especially if you're the favorite, I play to win, and you
Obviously,
should be playing.
you play to
There's
win.
no obviously. It needs to be done. A tie is not
100%
acceptable.
Play to win. All right.
They
Done
need
with
to
USA
win.
talk.
They need to win.
I think.
No, it's simple. It's very simple things. Just get the first goal.
You touched this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's not that complicated. The team has proven if they get a goal against, they just go down and they don't play well. Just
they need
get
to
that
play
first
the right
goal.
players. Bobby
Because
would better start, not Jordan
you
Morris.
can't let the other teams dictate the game to us. We need to dictate the game to them. That means get that goal, and you can't waste those chances. That's why I'm sorry. You're saying the Costa Rica game was a good performance. It wasn't. You can play well 2/3 of the field, but in the final third, you're not scoring. It doesn't matter. When you're at home in a CONCACAF World Cup qualifier, you need to win. Especially in a game like that where it was looking like if we were to lose both games, we'd be in our World Cup problems. Because this team has to go to the World Cup. I can't believe what I saw this whole week, that people were saying the U.S. should not go to the World Cup so they can learn something.
People were thinking that?
There's been polls on Twitter. Some people have been writing columns. USA Soccer should not make the World Cup so they can fix all the issues.
But the people responding, are these like Americans responding to this, or like just anyone?
Well, I don't think anyone else cares about U.S. soccer outside of America.
Yeah, you never want to not qualify. Like I said years ago that I don't think they would, because I really saw this coming, because they don't have youth defenders and they don't really have promising players until Pulisic arrived and we thought he was the savior. I still think he is. I was very impressed still, even though there were some missed chances.
Let's touch on Pulisic. He wasn't more than a 4 average for both those games.
Definitely off a week. Maybe
we were saying a week ago that because we have Pulisic, we're fine and we'll do well. But I'm sorry, if he doesn't play well, it's proven that's not going to be the case.
He's not playing in his position. I don't think for US. I think for Dortmund he plays on the wings. For USA, we need him in the middle.
It doesn't matter when he's going against German teams and he's going around them, making the right moves, dribbling past them, and then he goes against Costa Rica and Honduras and can't get by these MLS
part
defenders.
Of it is the people you're playing with.
No, but they were making the right runs. And he was trying to do a little bit too much.
Kind of.
You can't compare when you're playing with people on Dortmund and
Yes, you do, because
USA
he had
players.
a few days of training beforehand.
Sure, it doesn't matter.
And a smarter player like that, even though I know he's young, but we've
He's
already given him that much
young.
credit, he should adapt to it.
No. I think it's not.
Well, it doesn't
you're putting
matter.
it all on him.
I'm not
and
putting it all on him. The
you
other
have to
guys need to
understand
give him
he
support.
fits in with Dortmund because he's that good, but he's able to play with the other players at that type of level. He can't be the one controlling everything for USA. He's too young.
Well, regardless, there's still 2 more points to be made on the whole U.S. debacle. Number 1, shame on you, U.S. Soccer, for playing that game in New York. I'm freaking embarrassed to be a U.S. Soccer fan where we have a home game and it's 50-50 in the stands. I was hearing more cheers for Costa Rica than U.S. Soccer.
But that's
No,
I
there's
think
no
that's on the
but.
people.
There's no. I don't care. It's in the people. It's how the way U.S. Soccer sells the tickets, and it's why they chose New York. You already knew New York is a very strong Costa Rican city, and why would you play the game there? You see these teams in CONCACAF like Honduras pick their game in 95-degree temperatures, making it a national holiday, and making sure their grass is not cut.
That's why I feel like U.S. soccer will never be as big as people think or want it to be. We
that's-
don't have the culture right. We don't
That's
have
1B, because these people who are busy celebrating the Gold Cup and then are silent when we're losing, it's a joke about the American media when it comes to sports and soccer. Because right now there should be a national inquisition into this team. And no one's saying a thing. Colin Coward on Fox Sports 1 was like, oh, Pulisic is this amazing player. USA Soccer's there. Soccer's bigger than hockey. And then you see them lose to Costa Rica. Not a word from him.
They hype up shit for
you
no
see
reason.
around the horn, and they talk about 7 different issues, and they leave the U.S. soccer team for a 30-second yes or no question. And
Some people hype it because they feel like it's the right thing to do, but they don't know what they're talking about. There's every sport is different, and being outside of LA and America for 11 years now, soccer is not done right in America, and I don't know if it ever will be done right. But it's a completely different culture. It's a different sort of feeling, and if you're not raised on it from a young age, then it's something that you can't really just force on someone. Like,
It'll never be done right. 'cause
it's
the
been
culture
forced.
and it's the growing up on it, as you're saying.
Well,
and in Europe, in South America, everything is soccer.
Yeah,
America,
but-
you have 4 or 5 sports before everyone even thinks soccer.
yeah, but that at the same time, then they shouldn't be making these claims that soccer is the sport of the youth, that soccer is gaining in popularity, that soccer is getting better
I'm sure
ratings than NBA and
it's
NHL.
gaining in popularity because there's how many freaking million people in America and more immigrants and Mexicans and like everyone else coming in, and they like soccer. So like it's gonna
No, but
get more.
back up what you're saying.
Yeah, they don't care.
I mean, it's stupid. And another thing where we said about the refs, I'm sick of these CONCACAF refs.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We already mentioned the thing about the red cards in the Honduras game. There was stuff that happened in the Costa Rica game too, but the most ridiculous thing out of all was in the Honduras game. There were 3 minutes of extra time, only 3 when there was.
The goalie did a goal kick and then injured his knee and was down for 4 minutes.
There was that. There was a red card that happened at some point too. During the
That wasn't a red card.
what?
It was a red card.
Honduras got a red card in that game.
Oh, yeah, the
They
double
got-
yellow.
Yeah, they got a double yellow for
But that
who-
was all confusion. That was first of all, no, that was
The
in
point
the
is, it just took out time.
no, but that was in the 92nd minute.
exactly. No, so that happened. And
No,
then,
No, because then you add that time.
They
though.
didn't add it because
didn't
then
add the
they
time.
did the goal kick and then they blew the whistle.
Right, so you add the time.
Right,
But he didn't.
You're talking about something at the very, very, very end of the game. But yeah, I hear what you're
No,
saying.
if you have 3 minutes of injury time and a red card takes out a minute of the 3 minutes, you take it to 4 minutes.
exactly. But
And there was a sub during those.
he didn't do
3
that,
minutes
and
as well.
from the beginning there shouldn't have been only 3 minutes, and then it was just ridiculous.
And I don't want to get into like the whole who the refs are and where the countries we're playing at, but it's a joke. There's something against the United States soccer team that these refs are calling the game one-sided. Because for every 1 call that goes the U.S. ways, it's 3 calls that go the other way. And it's you rely on your team to win the games, but when you're playing against the ref, it's not sour grapes. If you watch that game again from the first kick to the final whistle, you'll see those mistakes, and it affects the game, and it frustrates the players. And a player can ignore the second, the third, the fourth, but when it's slowing the game down, it's another battle that you have to deal with that you shouldn't have to be dealing with.
Let's move on to Europe qualifiers now. We'll go group by group and figure out where the teams are in their standings and see which teams still have a chance, which teams might have clinched already, and eventually we'll get to. We're trying to get more happy, but we'll get to Israel in a second. But let's start with Group A.
Group A, France is going to go on. They're going to get 2 wins. They were embarrassed with their title Luxembourg.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
They know that they know nothing's clinched after their win right now against. They're going to play Bulgaria.
Yeah, they have Bulgaria.
It'll be a
then
tough
Belarus.
game in Bulgaria, but I mean, it's the freaking
again,
French
they're
national
winning.
team, and we don't need us to list the players on that team.
3-0.
So
It's going to come down to Sweden, Netherlands in the 10th game.
What I think is interesting, though, is like you just said, Sweden, Netherlands. If Sweden makes the World Cup, does Zlatan come out of retirement to play for them?
Absolutely.
I think so, too. Like,
But let's get there. There's
Yeah.
still a lot of work for them to do because they'll have the playoff and they'll probably get a tough. They can draw Italy
that'd be interesting.
in
though.
the playoff, and that'll be. But
we want Netherlands to win so we can actually go to Netherlands when World Cup comes around.
well, it's more. Well, we're going to probably go to the Netherlands regardless. But the Netherlands needs to win both games, and they need to beat Sweden at least 3-0.
The difference of
Goal differential is
no,
important.
the
yeah.
difference between
Huge
what?
goal differential will be important between Sweden and Netherlands. Right now, they're 6 down.
The difference between the Netherlands flag and the Luxembourg flag is like one is daytime, one is nighttime.
Kind of true.
Good to know.
All right, yeah. So Netherlands.
Because I'm just looking like who's playing who, and I had to go back and forth to see which game is when.
Netherlands. Their next game will be at Belarus, and then home to Sweden in that final
Yeah.
big showdown.
Yeah. Group E, pretty straightforward. Switzerland versus Portugal come down to the last game.
Portugal will be at home. in
Wait,
the final game.
how does Netherlands get out of this?
They're in trouble,
Sweden plays Luxembourg, wins, and then goal differential doesn't even matter.
but why does it not matter?
They're up 6 already on Netherlands.
Yeah.
So even if Netherlands win
We said Netherlands needs to win at least 3-0.
Yeah, Netherlands got
to Sweden,
Yeah, at least depending
At
on
least.
depending on Sweden does Luxembourg.
Oh,
Which
right.
is you can't look into that if you're looking at for some betting possibilities because
Luxembourg sometimes they get
no,
destroyed.
I'm talking about the Netherlands Sweden game. If you're looking for some -1s with the Netherlands,
We'll see when that time comes.
it'll be interesting, but don't get sucked into that.
All right,
is
so
all I'm saying.
Switzerland.
Group B,
undefeated.
Switzerland and Portugal.
Switzerland's undefeated because this is one of the worst groups in Europe.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty bad. The bottom 3, even
Faroe,
Hungary.
Andorra, Latvia.
Faroe Islands at 8 points.
They've beaten Andorra and they I think tied Latvia.
Wow.
Who has Portugal lost to? They lost to Hungary.
Switzerland. What do you mean? Switzerland's undefeated.
So Portugal lost.
We did this group. It's Switzerland versus Portugal for the last game. Portugal's home. Portugal's the
insane.
better team. Portugal's going to win and get their automatic qualification. Switzerland goes
They
to the
have a
playoff.
goal differential for sure.
They have it way well. Doesn't matter. They win. They're in. It doesn't matter goal differential at that point. Group C, Germany is in pretty much. They play Northern Ireland in the October 7th. No, sorry, October 5th game. Northern Ireland is home, but Germany's going to win, so that's going to be the
Wow.
clinch.
Czech and Norway are terrible. Azerbaijan has more points.
Norway has pretty much gone down. Yeah, but Azerbaijan's going to play the Czech, and then Azerbaijan's going to play Germany, so that's going to be 0 points from 6.
Probably, yeah. Big surprise is Northern Ireland though.
No, not from this group. Not for me.
Weren't they pot 4 maybe?
Yeah, but they got a lucky draw with Norway and Czech Republic.
Still, they pulled it
and they
off.
probably were pot 3, to be honest.
They pulled it off. They got big. They got
Northern Ireland was pot 3. Czech Republic was your pot 2 team, and Czech Republic is fading.
Yeah.
As we just saw with them winning 2-0 at home. So it's pretty much Germany 1, Northern Ireland 2 going to the playoff. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty much.
This one, well, I mean,
Very interesting.
we'll just say fuck Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I mean, why? Because it does not matter.
Didn't matter in the end.
No,
obviously.
it doesn't need to be said, but just still.
Wow.
Doesn't even matter. It's just the idea of them not coming through.
Apparently,
against
they're not.
Georgia.
They're still not eliminated though.
Right, because they're 5 points back a second, but it doesn't matter. Actually, they should be.
They're done.
Austria, they play home Serbia, and then at Moldova.
Yeah, but no, they're done.
You're saying Wales is not getting 2 points and
No, that's what I'm
Ireland's
saying,
not getting
like,
3
they-
points.
How's that possible? Ireland plays Wales, no?
Yeah, yes, so they can tie.
So they either
They tie, and then
It's
Austria
not
can
gonna
only
happen.
beat
Yeah,
them
it's
by
not
goal
possible.
differential. Yes, it
It's
is.
not
It's a goal
gonna happen.
differential.
no.
What do you mean it's not possible?
According to Wikipedia, they got like a little Z thing.
Oh,
So
because if it's a tie,
If it's a tie and Wales loses to Georgia,
yeah,
it's
that's-
not happening.
yeah, it's not
happening. They're out.
basically Serbia won.
Basically, Wales Ireland is
And,
that last game.
I mean,
That's gonna be a.
I would
freaking crazy
favor
game.
Ireland over Wales,
I wouldn't.
but
Who's home? Is it Ireland home?
who knows?
It's Wales home
Wales
to
is
Ireland.
home, but that's it's no difference who's home. Wales,
'Cause
Ireland.
The first game, Ireland gets Moldova, and Wales gets Georgia.
Yeah, but who knows with this group? We've seen how the scores go one way, how we think it goes.
Yeah,
and it goes
Georgia's
another way.
ruins a few games.
I mean,
Are they home or on the road to Georgia? I do not understand the
Georgia
table.
is home to Wales.
That could be your tie right there. And then
I mean, that is a huge difference because if Wales doesn't get that win and Ireland gets the points, and Ireland just plays for that tie.
Of course.
But let's just go with chalk. Serbia wins the group. Wales in second.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Group E, another.
Let's just move on from. I don't even feel like talking about this group.
It's not bad.
Why not?
Because I just don't care about
It's
this
actually
group.
very interesting, though.
What? All teams are very just equal and not so great.
Montenegro plays Denmark in the next game. There's your decider.
Name besides
Not necessarily, because
Jovetic, who the hell's on Montenegro? Like no disrespect.
actually,
to
you're right.
What's his
My bad,
name?
my bad.
I think-
Who, Montenegro?
Vucinic?
Vucevic.
Yeah, it's exactly. Who cares? But Denmark will do it. Denmark with Eriksson.
Denmark should do it.
They play Romania and Montenegro. And on Montenegro, that's that's the big game. Montenegro home to Denmark.
Poland won the, I believe, fourth-ranked team in the world.
Montenegro
Poland.
plays both Poland and Denmark left.
Yeah, that's not good for them.
That's why they're that high. It should be Poland, Denmark.
Most likely.
Well, I mean, where's Romania in all this?
Yeah, Romania choked a little bit.
Romania's not good.
Armenia is a little bit disappointing with Mkhitaryan.
No,
Mkhitaryan could do something
The
more.
rest of them are bad.
Yeah.
They're a pot 5, pot 6 team.
Wow, look at Group F.
Group F. It's a battle for second place. They haven't officially qualified yet. But
England will beat.
they're first.
England beat Slovenia 1-0 to claim it.
Yeah. All they need is one more point to clinch it, and they will. And then you got Slovakia,
Let's just
Slovenia,
move to
and
second
Scotland.
place.
A lot
and
of S's.
Scotland versus Slovakia is going to be a big game.
Who's home?
Scotland.
Scotland
And Slovenia is...
home to Slovenia. That's the first game.
Scotland plays.
And Slovenia is at England?
Yeah.
who's Scotland's
This is
second
close
game?
to call.
Slovenia.
Scotland has it all.
They play both teams.
Yeah, Scotland has it right where they want it.
No, they have to win both their games.
That's what you need to do in these
Not
things.
necessarily.
You want to play Malta. That's what you want.
Yeah, you want to play Malta.
Well, not really.
They're playing both Slovenia and Slovakia. If they miss up on one of the games, the other
Well,
team
guess
can
what?
do it.
For the first time, though, this is the correct way to do it for this group because Malta and Lithuania play back-to-back, it appears.
That's amazing, actually.
That's how it should be
So
done.
how does Lithuania have 5 points?
No, Lithuania plays England.
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
They have to
Yeah.
have played Malta.
Oh, I'm
once.
sorry, I read it wrong.
Yeah, their win was against Malta.
Which is still fine.
Malta plays Slovakia in one of the games.
That's where, like,
So Slovakia is getting a win. They're already at 18. And then they
Scotland
play
needs a 6.
Scotland. They just have to tie.
Wow.
Slovakia is doing it.
Slovakia's-
England, Slovakia. With that Malta game, it's England, Slovakia.
Group
Yeah.
G, we can go easily through.
Oh,
Spain 1,
we can go
Italy
easily
2.
What are you
Through.
talking about? Israel's going on.
Yeah, no.
It's
Yeah.
not even a
All
funny
right.
joke.
How much do we want to cover the whole Zahavi?
No, we'll get to that later.
the later.
Well, we're doing the groups. We won't stop for
All right,
Israel
so yeah,
here.
Spain 1, Italy 2. That's pretty much it.
Group H.
H.
Belgium's in.
How you see it.
Belgium is clinched. Are they the only team that's clinched? That's like
From Europe, I believe.
Yeah, they're the only team from Europe that's actually 100% clinched.
The team, so I guess I'm contradicting myself by going off the topic from going group to group.
Greece could very well pass Bosnia.
Brazil, Iran, Japan, Mexico, Belgium, South Korea, Saudi Arabia are in the World Cup.
What did you just say?
The teams that are in it, Brazil, Iran, Japan, Mexico, Belgium, South Korea, Saudi Arabia.
But
So-
you just skipped 2 groups.
No,
those
because
are the teams that are
Michael asked which teams from Europe are in the World Cup.
Like I've actually 100% qualified.
Okay, well, if you look back at Group H, Belgium's obviously first, but Greece could very easily pass Bosnia.
Greece
plays Gibraltar
and Cyprus.
and Bosnia plays
in
Belgium.
Cyprus home to that game. They're going to bring it.
Sure, but they could definitely win that game.
Who does Bosnia? Bosnia's at Belgium, and then no, Bosnia's home to Belgium, and then they are
The
at
question-
Estonia.
The question is, does 13 points cover it in the playoff? I don't know about that.
Yeah, the final playoff points are going to be interesting. Right now, Wales are the teams that are missing out.
1 second.
No, but you see Bosnia with that 8.
Yeah, they're tied, but it's going to be tricky.
Which would mean, if you think about it, if Bosnia is at the 8, that means Greece is at the 7. Greece is not going to make it, even if they get
Probably
second.
not. I think Greece. Unless
Unless Bosnia
good
wins
for
out,
Greece for
How did
coming
these
back to where they
points
are.
work? Why did they lose points?
They
the
lose-
last place team is not counted in the group, in the points.
All right, so let's move on to the final group of Group I.
Which, who knows how this is going to go.
This is unbelievable. Croatia lost to Turkey in their last game, which opened everything up. And who plays each other for this one? We got
Croatia
Ukraine.
plays Finland and Ukraine.
Yeah, the first game we got no, it's not the first game.
Iceland gets Turkey. and
Kosovo's got
Kosovo.
Ukraine, so Ukraine's got those 3 points probably locked up.
Also, Iceland has Kosovo.
Iceland needs to play for that tie against
Yeah, I want
Turkey.
Iceland back.
Iceland's guaranteed in.
Iceland, who do they got?
They play Kosovo.
They play Kosovo and they're at Turkey.
But I don't care. If you have the 16 and you're getting 19,
How
they're
is
in.
Ukraine guaranteed in? I mean,
I said Iceland.
They're not guaranteed.
If they
in.
beat Kosovo, they're guaranteed
They're at
in.
19.
Right. Turkey and Ukraine are not
They're
winning
guaranteed
both
second
games.
place.
They're guaranteed at least second place.
Iceland,
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
If they beat Kosovo.
no.
Yes. Turkey and Ukraine are not getting 2 wins.
Why can't Ukraine?
And if that happens, then Croatia's not getting
Why
to 20.
can't Ukraine beat Croatia?
Sure, but then Croatia's not getting to 20.
Why not? Oh, they're not getting to 20?
Oh, you're saying tie win?
Yeah. Oh, but they could lose on goal differential.
Yeah, it's not for sure.
So
there's
Croatia beats Finland, but
there's-
loses to Ukraine, you're saying?
We can waste time
and then
doing
Ukraine beats them.
pick the game,
and
pick the
Kosovo.
game. I'm just going to
Okay,
go with
yeah.
Croatia on Iceland too. I mean, like you just go chalk with this because anything can happen in these games that we just learned from the last game week.
All right, yeah.
100%.
I hope Iceland makes it again because they were fun to watch in Euros.
But literally after like so much time it takes for these games to happen, we're finally at the point where it gets really exciting.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate that Israel is not involved. I mean, we thought they'd be more alive, but you don't lose to freaking Macedonia at home. And we'll just touch on it briefly. Everything about the national team, from the fans to the management to the players, is a disgrace right now. And just like America needs a foreign coach, the Israeli national team needs a foreign coach. And people are too comfortable in the league and for the national team that they need to become uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That their spot isn't guaranteed, because you can't have a player like Zahavi who is bullying the rest of his teammates for how the game should be played, as if you saw the game against Macedonia, where every single ball that didn't go to him or wasn't done correctly, he was freaking out worse than Ronaldo does. And I'm sorry, Zahavi and Ronaldo should not be in the same sentence ever.
I think probably most likely the money and the notoriety has gone into Xavi's head. He's playing in the Chinese league. Cares about the Chinese league. He's the top scorer there.
Yeah, I
Cares about
heard.
the Chinese
I
league.
heard because of the amount that he scored there that it's a big deal. It's not a big deal. I don't care if he scored
It
23
means
goals in the
something.
Chinese
It
league.
definitely means
it does
he's-
not mean because you're playing against Chinese.
It doesn't mean nothing.
No, there's a bunch of international players, big
like
names.
he's outscoring big names there, but still, it's not on a place where you can compare it to like.
It's not
Ronaldo.
competitive
not-
at all.
yeah.
That league. It's
No,
worse
you
than
don't even
MLS.
say it with Ronaldo in the same sentence, but it's still.
It's worse than
good.
MLS.
He needs to move in January to an actual league.
It doesn't matter. His career is done because he's not going to play for the national team anymore.
I wouldn't say never.
He'll be one of those players that have done well with their clubs and in their league, but now they're just going into the twilight of their career, and we don't pay attention to them. And that's what it should be for a player like him who thinks he's some God's gift to this earth, and he's just another average player.
I don't know. You can still never say never.
I'm
People
so
retire and
just
come back.
disgusted with how he's taken this, and that's not how a captain
It doesn't
acts.
surprise me. It really does. Like everything I've experienced with
No,
Israeli
you
soccer.
think he evolved though, and he
you-
didn't.
That's the thing. You would think, but everything I've experienced from my own personal experience with Israeli soccer, whether it's playing on teams or watching games or knowing the little things behind the scenes that I can't really get into, like there's a lot of politics and BS that just should not be part of the game. It should obviously it's not how the world works, but it should be like the best players play. You work together as a team. You respect the fans respect you, and hopefully you hope for the best. But in Israel, it just doesn't work that way. Where people they think they know more than the person next to them, and they don't want to listen to anyone else. And it's suffered, and we've been here 11 years now, and
We've gone backwards. Yeah, I don't want to waste my time while we're talking about Israel soccer and the national
can you
team.
think of one big win that Israel's had?
No.
Like,
When?
I can't ever in the past 11 years. Like
Yes,
with
there's
USA,
been.
even in friendlies. In USA, I can easily go back to we beat
I want to
Netherlands,
say
we
Russia.
beat Germany.
We were at the Russia game. They won in like the 90th something minute.
Yeah, but Russia's faded as well.
This was like 6,
I'll
7
give
years
you
ago.
that.
Do
I
not
think
take
we
that
did
out.
beat
That
Russia.
was a big win.
We
And it
did
was
beat
to go,
Russia.
I
I
was like,
wouldn't say big.
Russia was overrated. It was a surprise win.
even if they're overrated.
giving opinions,
It's something.
though.
I get it. Fine. Russia, I can sort of give that, but still, it's not like
You're saying it like Russia's this big top 10 team in Europe. They're not even top 20 in Europe.
yeah.
sure, but when that's your second team, it was the second hardest team in the pot at the time.
The point is, time and
That
time
was the
again,
team that kicked us out of the World Cup that year, I believe.
the point is, time and time again, they haven't even once even tied a big team. Like they can't even get those. Like why can Luxembourg tie France? Why can I can't think of other examples. Why can't all these
Because
others...
they buy into a game plan and become a team of 11 players
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not 11
Why
individuals.
can't Israel do what all these other
It's simple.
smaller countries
It's simple. Get the Israeliness out of the national team and bring in foreign influence to teach the game properly to these players. They
Yeah.
cannot be comfortable. You cannot come into... Again, I'm getting upset by talking about this. We need to move on. We're not
right.
talking about Israeli soccer anymore. It's just...
Let's anything for World Cup still qualifying, or want to move
No,
on to EPL?
South America's crazy. Congratulations to
Yeah,
Syria.
it's crazy.
Congratulations to Syria for making the playoff, but you're going to play the Socceroos, and the
yeah,
Socceroos are
let's-
going on.
we'll
We'll see Australia versus Panama in the playoff in November.
We'll talk more about the South America qualifying in October when those games come
yeah,
up.
for preview for that.
Ronaldo almost has more goals than points for Portugal.
I mean, Ronaldo. I mean, then again, look at his group. But again, he's putting in the goals. You have to give
All
him
right,
that. But his
let's-
group is very weak.
Let's move on to this week's
EPL
games.
back.
It's back.
Yay!
Whew.
Unless
Got
you're an
some-
Arsenal fan.
Unless you're an Arsenal fan, but I'm trying to be optimistic.
Starting at the 2:30 kickoff, though, Liverpool City. What a way
Big
to
showdown.
start the week.
I
I can't even give you a good prediction.
City 3-1.
I think
Okay, here we go.
my prediction, I put 3-2 City.
Let's live up this show. We've been a little bit down because of US
yeah.
soccer, but let's
I
let's
think-
keep the predictions
I
going.
think
City
City wins
3-1.
the
City
game.
3-1.
I got
3-1.
City 3-2. The question is which
Sterling's missing.
that Sterling's got the
Is
red card?
Gundogan back?
I think he
that's
is.
the rumor.
He trained with the U23s in their last game.
Yeah,
Who
but
saw Silva's free kick?
oh, I did.
That was beauty.
Seth was like, "Who is that guy?" And I'm like,
Bernardo Silva?
That's David
no,
Silva."
David Silva, okay.
is
Baldy's here.
bald.
Yeah.
Baldy's
The
here.
question is, though, which South American players are going to be back and ready for this game? Because you got Coutinho. who
Coutinho doesn't matter.
Why
He
not?
wouldn't even start.
Why not?
You don't change anything from Liverpool.
No, you play Coutinho if you can.
If Coutinho.
Why would you play someone who's coming back from Colombia?
Because
if he can, we
And they have the
said.
early kickoff.
Because he's money.
No, there's no money. You don't for Liverpool, just like Man U. There's nothing to change there.
Coutinho could win a game by himself.
There's nothing that, and then you have him come off the bench.
Maybe.
You're on the road. You're not
Okay,
home.
fine.
You're not
But
expected
flip
to
side.
3 points here.
Flip side, you got Aguero, Gabriel Jesus coming from South America as well. Do they play?
Well, no, because Pep doesn't like Aguero and Jesus.
I guess Jesus has
How
to
much
play.
did he play in the Brazil game?
Who cares?
He didn't
It's the
sta-
same thing
he
about
didn't-
Coutinho.
he didn't
It's not
start
about how
the
much you
second
play.
game.
There you go. He didn't start the second game.
It's not about how much you play. It's about the
Firmino
whole flight
started
time
the second
coming
game against
back.
Colombia.
And Firmino, Coutinho, Aguero, Gabriel Jesus.
Well, then it adds to it where you
All
just
right,
can't
so
really predict
me and
this game.
Me and Seth said City. Josh, where
1-1 tie.
you're saying for the tie? All right.
Like there's so much into play here, especially with what you're saying with all the South American players coming back. They're not going to be 100%. It's not a simple flight to come back, and you lose time flying as well.
All right, we'll see. Let's move on to the 5:00 games. We got
I'll save you time. 4-0 Arsenal.
4
4-0 Arsenal.
on the spreadsheet. You said 3.
Classic
I'll change
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1.
This is the statement game that this season isn't going to be a waste, and the team wakes up, and Lacazette is going to be pissed from not starting the game
That's
before.
I wanna believe you guys.
I'll give you a hint to my captain. I think it just said it.
I'm predicting as of now. For now, it's a 5-0 win. For
Wow.
now.
Wow.
That's a lot with my heart, I think, but I still need to see the lineups. We got rid of Oxlade-Chamberlain. I don't know if we're sticking at 3 in the back or changing to 4 in the back.
Which is a blessing in disguise because Oxlade-Chamberlain, who starts for England, which is a joke. Ox should be coming nowhere near the starting lineup for England.
The more I looked into it
Sick
and heard
of it.
about it, the only reason they played him was to get other teams to buy him. So it ruined our...
England?
No, the only reason that Arsenal played him against Liverpool
No,
was...
I got that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
It's still
starting for
stupid,
England. Though.
but like, Jesus. So I think, as long as Kolasinac plays, I'll be happy, but no way...
There's no reason for any of the summer transfers to not play in this game.
But the question is, if they move to a back 4, do they play Kolasinac or Monreal?
Kolasinac.
That's what I want.
He's a beast.
That's what I think so. I don't think Wenger will do that.
Well, like you're saying,
And-
we don't need to waste time on what maybe,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
ifs, because
So
it all
we-
comes down to Wenger and who knows
Let's
what
move
he's
on.
thinking.
We all say Arsenal wins easily or set 2-1, but they'll still win.
That could change, but I'm just saying because
'Cause-
of the recent results, Arsenal's known to somehow also get out of tight, easy wins, and they somehow barely win it.
They're the
yeah,
only,
but this needs to be a statement.
They're
from
the
them.
only-
I agree.
they're
So
the
that's why
only
I'm still.
team
It
where
could
I
be.
will
I
s-
could change it.
They're the only team where I'll say you need to wait for the lineup before you make your predictions because with Wenger, you never know what's going to be.
Still,
decided.
I think you put some money down 3-0, 4-0 this weekend.
All right. I think this is the game of the week, not Liverpool City. Everton at Spurs. Did I get that right?
It could be the game of the week.
Everton's home, not,
or
it's not at Spurs. Everton's
it could
home.
be 0-0. because Everton is one of the best defenses in the Premier League. And Spurs is just not scoring. Like it is, I mean, every single person. It's September, so Harry Kane's going to start scoring again, but it's not going to be that simple. And I've never been a big Harry Kane fan.
It's definitely not that simple. But
and it's great that he scored against Malta, but it's Malta.
Yeah.
I mean, we called it.
Those are gifts.
We were saying that he was going to score. He got his 2 goals against Malta. And who knows, he was going to score against Everton's defense. Wayne Rooney's probably not going to play because he just can't get his act together off the field.
Yeah, I read about that.
He's busy drink driving and
what's drink driving? I don't get that.
It's a British term for like.
It's not drunk driving.
He's not drunk, but he drank.
Okay.
Well,
That's whatever.
no, it's not whatever.
What do you have, a beer too?
That's more than a beer too.
What's more
he
than a beer
passed
too?
the limit, like.
Oh, okay. So then,
But like that's not necessarily drunk, but that's still past the limit. It's a way of British terminology.
Drink driving sounds like fun.
And the even weirder story, he was caught with another woman who looked exactly like his wife. So it's just like, I don't want to hate on Wayne Rooney because he's a United legend, but like just get your act together because it's hard to root for you when you do these things. You have 3
Doing
kids.
what you're doing.
You have 3 kids. You're supposed to be a role model, and you're getting busted drink driving. I'll keep on using that term, and with a woman that looks just like your wife. Just
That's amazing.
stop it. I'm probably going to change this, but as of right now, I'm going with 0-0 because this could be a boring game.
This game is a guaranteed tie.
Baldwin, there you go.
And I'm debating between 1-1 and 2-2 though, but I'm going to go 1-1.
That's
I
fine.
might change my original thought. I wanted to think that Everton might win this, but because the whole Rooney stuff, who knows? But
And the fact that Spurs need to get their points on the road because they won't get it at home.
yeah. I don't want to. I'm not going to say the same thing as you guys. I will
Say it. If that's what
no,
you
I'm
think,
not.
say
I'm
it.
not. I don't. I'm gonna. I'm
So
gonna.
then don't say that.
I'm gonna stick with my, I guess, heart with this one and go with Everton with the win at home.
Very good.
Continuing their strong season, which everyone sort of saw coming, but
Strong season.
yeah,
They're at 4 points.
yes, but they've had a really tough schedule.
It's a strong 4 points, Seth.
Was that sarcasm?
Yeah, because
No, I mean the tie against City is good, but that's just 1 point in the end.
It's a big point on the road though.
It's just
But
1 point.
no, I mean to Michael's fairness here, the game against Chelsea, we covered it last week. It was the 3rd game in 6 days, so it was.
It's a decent start, but in points wise, it's just whatever.
Chelsea Leicester's the next game.
There's just
they
someone
walk right through them.
Yeah,
It should be like a 3-1, 2-0.
Morata's hot.
Murata
He scored like 2 plus 2 offsides.
Murata's hot.
He scored.
Where's your little?
I say Murata for first goal, maybe Hazard, but Hazard might be coming off the bench because he's not fully 100%.
Morata had like 2 goals and 2 offsides as well.
Yeah, but his
Yeah.
opponents weren't, so it was Liechtenstein. But
Yeah, Leicester.
I think it's nothing but a Chelsea win here.
Yeah, Leicester doesn't
Wait,
stand a chance. I
who
think.
scored for Brazil?
William.
Sick goal if you
There
haven't
you
seen
go.
it. Very sick goal if you haven't seen
He's
it.
always been a favorite player. I'm surprised Josie didn't get him as well, but I guess Chelsea would be stupid to sell us 2 players.
Yeah, Chelsea runs through Leicester.
And then another easier game. It's not a Monday night in Stoke. It's a Saturday night in Stoke, but United's probably going to keep their clean sheet alive for the season. Well, I expect a 3-0 win.
This is interesting. This could be Man U's first mess up.
No. There's no... Obviously, anything can happen, but I think Jose's got them prepared, and they're going to get ready for this game, and it's going to be business as usual.
I think they're ready. Yeah.
Pogba was... He's just so good. Like you can't find the words. Do you want to like go into depth about?
so good.
Yeah, he's just like you see him against France, and he's just a general out there. And it hasn't been this great to be a Man U fan in a while. So the words aren't easy to find.
Yeah,
here.
I think they keep the clean sheet. They get another win, and they keep their 100% record.
2-0 Man U, but very
Sort of like the
high
last game?
possibility of a tie.
Okay.
2-0, but a high possibility of tie.
I'm going with what should happen, what I think truly will happen, but I would
Don't
not
do
be
should.
surprised.
Don't just think
It should
go-
happen. Man U
Fine.
is by far the best team in the Premier League this year. I
So
said
far.
that at the beginning of the
So
season.
far.
I said Man U winning.
All right. I know we didn't really mention this, but I do want to quickly just throw out there that I think Swansea will be an interesting thing to see this week with their new signings, with Boney coming back and Renato Sanchez. We'll see how Sanchez does in the Premier League.
Well, it's a week Sunday, so
Those are amazing signings, by the way.
It's a week Sunday, so I guess they definitely will have all all the attention. Wow, all the attention on them because there's not many good games on.
I think
Sunday.
Swansea blows through Newcastle, which will be
You should choose your words carefully there.
yeah. All right.
I think that we went a little heavy on the soccer.
we did.
which
We're
is
40 minutes in.
40 minutes in talking soccer, so
Wait, no. We haven't not talked fantasy.
All right, what do you want to say about
What
fantasy?
do you want
then?
to say about fantasy?
Who's your captain?
For this week?
Yes.
At
I
the moment,
already gave you mine.
I think I'm sticking with Lukaku, but I might change it. For now,
How
it's
do you not
Lukaku.
have an Arsenal player?
I mean, that's the logical
I
play.
just don't. I can't have an Arsenal player because I don't know who starts. I don't know if Lacazette is starting or Welbeck or Giroud. I don't know who's starting.
That is a good point, but you have to assume Lacazette starts.
I assume he will, but I just don't know. Until
I have
see
a
it.
question.
What?
Is Chicharito going to start?
100%. He's on my Toga team.
I saw that, but then I switched it to Lacazette.
Because he's my captain.
I think Chicharito gets a hat trick against Huddersfield.
He's my captain.
But I'm
I'm
not going to switch off
scared.
Lacazette.
But I'm scared. No, I don't have an Arsenal player. So, of course, Arsenal player is the other right move to go. But
Also-
Chicharito starts. You
Also,
go
don't
Chicharito.
expect Sanchez to start on Saturday.
I don't know exactly. That's why when it came to the
I
scoreline,
think, I think he's a little hurt.
you don't know if Alexis is going to start. You don't I don't know.
Okay, but let's move to the NFL.
Yes.
We've pretty much covered soccer.
Can I play the thing?
Michael's going to play the thing. I still can't believe that's the best clip you can get from the song.
That's the best one I found.
because that's not the traditional one that you hear. But
That's the best one I found.
I mean, just when you think the NFL could get worse, it got better. Because the Patriots lose in game one, and it's just unbelievable.
And that's because Tom Brady is a terrible person.
It
0 touchdowns.
goes back to what I said, and he should have retired. But
He should have
He was
retired.
stubborn. He wants to play another year. Now you have to deal with this loss because you should not lose at home
Enough of this
on banner raising night.
It's like you should never lose at home.
No,
Yeah, he's
no.
freaking 40
You have all
years old.
summer. No, I'm sorry. If they're such this great team and they're unstoppable and everyone loves the Patriots, you don't lose at home on banner night.
Yeah. I didn't know he's from
You
California.
don't get. Yeah, he's from California. You don't get outscored those 21 points by the Chiefs.
Jeez, he's 40. Yeah, he should have retired.
You should retire. You're like.
Is Peyton Manning still playing?
No, he's been gone
What
for
were the
2 years
odds
now.
to bet against the Patriots winning the Super Bowl
Last year?
this year?
This year?
Before, obviously,
I don't think there's such
'cause
things.
that would be an
They don't have
interesting thing,
odds
'cause
like that.
I just there's no way.
Wait, you're saying they're not winning?
Yeah,
They're not. They're not.
What?
They're not winning the Super Bowl because of this one game.
I know
If anything, this is a wake up call. to them.
maybe.
I mean, granted, they have the injuries. Endelman's out. They have some injuries to their safeties. Again, ACL injury was the killer this whole preseason, and it's another people don't understand how many injuries happen.
Another player got
in the
injured in the
NFL.
game. Well, I think a safety for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
is Achilles for the whole.
Yeah.
He's gone for the season.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's whatever. Nothing's going to stop. The NFL train's going to keep on chugging away. But sooner or later, there's going to be an intervention for this sport.
Yeah.
Because these players need to smarten up that this sport is shortening their lives. End of story.
Even though those millions of dollars, it can't.
It's not.
do everything.
But it's not millions of dollars at first, though.
Yeah,
you
that's
have
true.
to earn it your first 2 or 3 years to get those millions of dollars.
Jeez, yeah.
The average year for the average lifespan in the NFL is 3 years, I believe. Think about that for a second.
Yeah. It's it ends getting lower.
But
and lower,
anyways, we buy into it because we love the fantasy and the betting.
for sure. Let's.
I would take the millions for 20 less years.
That's
If I live to 70 instead of 90, it would throughout.
that's
What?
we're thinking more living to 45 than 65.
No, come on. What are you talking about? 45?
That's what there's going to be.
That's
Because
what
there's an ACL injury, he's going to live to
it's
45?
It's not just the brain.
It's not just the
it's
ACL.
brain.
Say the
It's the brain.
concussions.
It's the
Sure,
brain.
say the
It's the
concussions.
brain.
You're talking about ACL injuries
But
and
that's part of
different
it.
injury. No,
That-
those
that-
injuries don't do anything.
That's just not the latest epidemic with it. Before it was all the brain injuries and the head traumas. Now it's 30, like I said, 30 plus ACL injuries
Sure, it does not
before week 1.
make you die earlier.
All right.
Whatever.
Let's
Let's just do this easily. Jaguars are going to suck. Rams are going to suck a little less. Cowboys are going to have an interesting season.
That's where I'm going to disagree. I want to talk about my team a little bit. My Jacksonville Jaguars.
Go on, because we were talking earlier, and the win over-under for wins was 6, and you're thinking it's going to be 10.
I don't think it'll be 10.
With that logic, you should be going to Vegas right now and putting $1,000 on that.
on the over for 6.5.
If you think that they're going to get 10 wins and it's 6.5, absolutely.
I think they could get to 9, maybe 10, but I think for sure they get over 6.5.
And this isn't a fan thinking. This is I really think I know my team and we're going to do this. This isn't just I like my team and I hope for the best.
I'm trying to sort their schedule by team.
Because to be honest, I don't waste my time with the Jaguars because they always suck every year. But when you said that to me,
Let me just find 6 games for you that we could win. Home to the Rams, home to the Chargers.
No,
I see 2 losses right there.
No way.
I see 2 losses right there.
There's no way.
the Rams are going to be much
We've
better
got the
this year.
Jets. We play the Jets.
That's one.
We got Cleveland at some game.
50-50.
We got the
The
Colts.
Rams have a better quarterback and a better top wide receiver than the Jaguars.
That is true.
The Rams have
Our receivers are better.
not the top receiver.
Yes.
Sammy Watkins is better than anyone you
Allen
have.
Robinson and Marcus
no,
Lee.
No, Sammy Watkins.
Whatever. We'll get to 6
Whatever.
wins. We have a pretty decent whatever.
Wait, we'll get to 6.
We'll-
that does not
we'll get
cover
to-
6 and a
all right,
half.
we'll get to 7. My bad.
Yeah,
We'll get to at least 7. I think we'll get to
I think
9.
you're sounding more hopeful than
Yeah,
realistic
that's
here.
definitely hopeful.
I mean, good for you. I mean, everyone should support the
but
teams
just
that
go
they
back
follow.
on the $1,000 at Vegas.
But it's not going to be 8 wins. Sure, hope for 8, 9, 10 wins. I don't think so.
I think we'll get to at least 7, if not 8 or 9.
Seth, anything on the Rams? We got to speed this up a bit.
Not much to say. Just I really think a lot depends on the connection between Sammy Watkins and Jared Goff. If they can make that work, Sammy Watkins, I've seen him play when he was on Buffalo. He's just a monster, and he would make catches that
He was a great player.
anyone can just. A quarterback just throws the ball up, and
I think
he'll get
LA
it.
will be very good for him. Better than Buffalo.
But for sure better than Buffalo. But it depends on how. When you go to LA, it's different than any other city in the U.S. You have the hype. You have everything. You have to deal with it.
If you want to hear my thoughts on the Cowboys, you can listen to the radio show tomorrow. But it's Super Bowl or bust this year. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
And that is a
You can-
complete.
you can
You are
hear more.
ridiculous.
They're one of the top 5 teams in the league. Sorry.
Sure, that's not Super Bowl or bust, especially when your best 2 players are 22 and 21.
Doesn't matter. They proved so much last year.
Sure. So you have a bright future. That does not
And-
make Super Bowl or bust.
And they were one stupid drive away from making it to the conference final last year.
Still not the Super Bowl.
That's fine.
So this year
it's
I will
Super
give
Bowl
you
or bust.
no. This year I'll give you conference final or bust. They're
No, they-
21 and 22.
That
Those
doesn't-
are your stars.
So what? You
Give them time.
You have a like I heard it. You just heard it before
According
the
to
show.
Josh, their careers, they have 2 more years left in their career.
No, it's different. That's different.
So not Super Bowl championship or bust.
We're talking about
Do
like
you mean
linemen.
Super Bowl? Do you mean winning or making it?
No, making the Super Bowl.
So I just say making.
They need to
conference
get to the
finals.
Super
I
Bowl.
say you have to go up at least. Not Super. I'd
Well,
say conference
if
finals.
they make the conference finals and lose, it won't be that much of a failure.
Who's the biggest
That's
threats
what I'm
in
saying.
the NFC?
I won't like it, but
But that's not a bust.
Who are the
That's
biggest
my
threats
point.
in the
it
NFC?
should be Super Bowl or bust. That's you need to have those goals. I'm sorry if that's who
Everyone's goal is to win the Super Bowl, especially when you're a top 5 team.
There's,
No,
but
no,
there's,
no.
You can't
there's,
say
there's
Super Bowl or
realistic
bust.
expectations.
I. No, but there's real
They're
expectations.
22 and 21. You can't expect
What do you
them
mean
to make
22 and
it.
21?
Their
age.
ages of
You-
their stars.
I think this is the most flawed argument
What do you
you're
mean
making.
so?
The best
What?
players in the world are younger now. That's what happened.
That's what's
too
happening.
young. You need more experience for the NFL. It's
That's
not
why they have the best
college.
offensive line in the league. That's why it's
so
fine with their
basically,
age.
on your theory, I know it's a different sport than like Barcelona's screwed because they just signed a 19-year-old.
And Connor McDavid's not the
at
best
all,
player in the world.
Not at all. Not at all.
And Connor McDavid's not
you
the best
guys
player
are
in the world.
ridiculous. First of all, you're giving a sport right now that's just one person.
Yeah, but football is about one person. The quarterback.
Who
and
did
the
you just
running
say
back.
right now?
Connor
Connor
McDavid.
McDavid.
Oh, I heard Conor McGregor.
Fucking Conor McGregor.
Fuck.
I lose the fight, but I
Oh,
still feel like a champion.
Josh saw what the retweet I did. He has a picture right now
Jeez.
that you tweeted where he's like walking outside of a club or something like that,
With, like,
and he's
a
got like a
fur coat.
pimp jacket on and a
With his
cigar in his
cigar
mouth,
and his wife
and
has
his
a girlfriend.
hot freaking girlfriend.
I
wife,
wouldn't go
whatever.
that far, but
She's
then again, Connor, if you're listening, your wife is the prettiest woman in the world because I don't want you to punch my face in. Let's just get to some betting because that's pretty much what all the NFL's about, to be honest.
All right, we'll go game by game, say the lines, and we'll each choose our top 3 picks. First game we got is Pittsburgh at Cleveland.
I've got a pick.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland, and Cleveland's got. We're gonna say what the home team.
We're gonna.
We're gonna say what the home team at the line is according to them. So it's Cleveland with a plus 9.5 at home to Pittsburgh.
You have to balance your favorites and your underdogs. I obviously like
It's your favorite and your underdogs and the home teams. 'cause
that
those are
too.
also something
It's
to
all intertwined.
Not
and
every home team's gonna win, and not every favorite team's gonna win.
I think Cleveland getting 9.5 points at home in the first week is way too much. And Pittsburgh's star running back has not played at all during the preseason. I think he'll be a little shaky. I see Pittsburgh winning by like 7 or 8, and that's good enough to cover.
So Josh taking the points.
And you are 0 for 1.
All right. Next game we got Buffalo.
Pittsburgh is going to destroy them.
I'm just keeping it civil because we want to get to the end of this podcast because
Yeah.
we've been talking for a while.
Pittsburgh is going to destroy them.
All right.
That's fine.
Buffalo at home to the Jets with a minus 8.5. None
Okay.
of us are talking about it, but we
Next.
could mention right now that there's a thing called survival where basically you choose a.
Oh, okay, fine.
You choose a.
Yes, we're all on Buffalo. I think if you're listening to this podcast, you know survival.
Yeah, if you listen
you
to this
don't
podcast,
need to
you basically know
explain it.
survival is. We're all choosing Buffalo as our team.
That's our week
by
1
chance.
pick.
That's our week 1 pick.
No,
So,
it's an easy strategy. You should be picking the teams that are playing the Jets or the
Jaguars.
Jaguars
Or the Browns.
or the Brats.
Joking about the Jaguars.
But
next
you don't
game.
waste Pittsburgh this week.
That's why you don't waste
Exactly.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Next game, we got
Jacksonville
Houston
at Houston.
Yeah.
Minus 5.5 for Houston.
I'm taking the points for Jacksonville. I think
Because they're gonna win.
they might not win the game.
Because I'm like, Jacksonville,
No.
we're going to get 10 wins.
They might not win the game, but I think 5 points is too much. They'll lose within a field goal. Hopefully they'll win
Houston
on my
was 7-1 at home last year.
Doesn't mean they're going to beat
Interesting
7-1. Doesn't mean they're going to.
Houston is playing for the Harvey victims.
All right,
I don't want to bet against Houston at all this season.
They can play as much as they want and play as hard as they want, but they have to still cover 5 points.
Philadelphia at Washington. Philadelphia is the road favorite, minus 1.5.
Which is my first take of the week.
Taking-
Philadelphia will definitely beat that.
That
line.
is very good pick.
Philadelphia will definitely beat that.
Very good
It's a
pick.
decent pick.
Moving on, Arizona.
When you're a road
Not moving
favorite
on.
when you're a road favorite by 1.5, normally obviously the home advantage adds points to whoever side it goes to.
Yeah.
So when you're such a low, I like those low road picks.
So based on your theory, the next game should be pretty good for Arizona.
I like
then.
Arizona.
No, that's the opposite thinking.
I like Arizona.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the next time. I
No,
was looking
that's
at a different
opposite.
team.
Yes.
I was looking at a different team.
Let's just continue, but we gotta get this moving. Arizona at Detroit.
I also say Arizona,
is
but I
a
don't like
minus
it as much.
1.5.
I take Arizona.
I would take Arizona too,
But
it's
that's not one of my
pick.
picks.
Baltimore at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a minus 2.5 home favorite. That's going to be a great game.
Baltimore wins.
Very good game. Oakland at Tennessee. Tennessee is minus 2.5. Oakland was the betting favorites last year. Lots of people bet on Oakland. And I think that's going to change this year. That's why I'm going to be on Tennessee, minus 2.5 at
Tennessee's
home.
got a good offense.
Tennessee's got a great offense. Mariota leads them, and I think Oakland doesn't get off to a right start this year. I think there'll be a down year for Oakland, to be honest. If you had over-under wins, I'd go under for the Oakland Raiders.
Go Raiders.
And Tennessee covers. Next game, Atlanta at Chicago. Atlanta is a minus 6.5 favorite on the road. Seth has a pick here.
So do I.
Atlanta wins something around 42-27.
I think that covers it.
I
Yeah.
think that does cover it. Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta too.
So we got two Atlantas right
Yep.
there. Indiana at your Los Angeles Rams. I would not touch this game because Andrew Luck is out and
Wait a second.
What?
Indianapolis, not Indiana.
I don't care what they're called.
Andrew Luck is out.
Andrew Luck is out for week 1 and he'll be a factor all season by not playing.
Rams.
Are you
100% home opener.
Do you want to switch one of your top 3?
Home opener, Rams beat that team without
So
Luck.
Seth's on the Rams as well. So that's got a lot of
I'll
picks.
give 4. That's fine.
Seattle at Green Bay, a great game this weekend. I will have a pick on this one. Green Bay wins at home because it's hard to beat them
I
at
like that
Lambeau.
too.
Seattle
That was
is,
one of my picks too.
I forget who mentioned it yesterday. Seattle's going to be a great team because they can play on the road as well as home. No, they're known for their home
Yeah.
and not for their road performances.
I like Seattle. Green Bay.
Green Bay wins at home.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's not one of my 3 picks, but I like them for this
Jordy
week.
Nelson.
Carolina at San Francisco. I would say don't touch this, but Michael wants to.
It's kind of a don't touch game, but this is more me betting against choosing against the 49ers and instead of for Carolina. I don't think the 49ers are going to be good this year at all, and I think Cam Newton will be able to cover.
If I had to place a bet on every single game, I would take the points here with San Francisco. But we'll see. We'll see come
Yep.
Sunday. Moving on, the game of the week, Sunday Night Football. The New York Football Giants go to Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott will play. Seth has a pick, which I'm not going to like.
Really? I'm going with Dallas.
Oh, he switched it.
No, I did not switch it. I was
He was
joking with
just
you.
Oh, he was
Nothing.
joking.
I
with
think
me.
Dallas.
He was trying to goat me into an early reaction.
I think Dallas has a solid victory here. I don't want to say it's going to be that easy, but 3.5 is not high. They beat the line. Ezekiel Elliott's going to want to prove something after playing, after possibly being suspended. He's going to want to have an outstanding first game. I think Dak continues what he did last year, and Dallas starts to a great season.
To add on to that, and you mentioned Ezekiel Elliott, who's going to go for 200 yards. The Dallas Cowboys lost both games last year to the Giants.
Yeah, so they're
So
destroying.
this is a revenge game. This is a FU to the NFL for taking out our running back. This is going to be a Dallas win. I'm thinking 27-17. The two Monday night football games, Adrian Peterson returns to Minnesota. It's the New Orleans Saints plus 3.5 to Minnesota, and the your Los Angeles Chargers, which is that doesn't even
Makes
make
sense,
any
yeah.
sense to me. It doesn't. It's the San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles playing the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are a 3.5 favorite. Maybe take the Chargers with the points, but
We'll see.
Yeah.
just all I say is don't go chasing these 2 games if your Sunday doesn't work out for you. But that's NFL. We're happy it's back. We're going to close up the show a little rapid fire. U.S. Open. Seth, how has the tournament looked so far?
There were at the beginning. There
And
were a lot
that
of,
was talking tennis. No, go
at the beginning. There were a lot of upsets. Then there was the whole bracket of how I said with Thiem, Del Potro, and Federer. So Del Potro beats Thiem and Federer, which was shocking. And now he has a semifinal with Nadal tomorrow. The other semifinal is Anderson versus Carreño Busta, which is also a great semifinal. So you have not the top, but they're all in the top 20s rankings. It's decent.
I might tune in.
On your women's side, you had 4 women from USA. Venus Williams lost last night in one semifinal to Sloane Stephens, and the other semifinal is tonight with Madison Keys against Coco Vandeweghe.
I look forward to seeing the result.
I think Keys
I will not be
wins.
watching that. I look forward to the result.
Keys wins the final.
And that's your U.S. Open update. No, it's been exciting. There's been lots of upsets.
I'm
Lots
just
of
happy Nadal's going to do it, probably.
lots of celebs in the
I want Del
stands.
Potro.
I love Nadal.
PK Subban was at the game. I think the Federer Del Potro game.
It's a big game.
Good to see PK there. A few more topics we'll touch on. The Dodgers.
Honda.
The Dodgers,
Doyers.
all that hype we've been talking about all summer is starting to wash away and becoming a waste of a season, in my opinion, because now it's just going to be a regular
It's not
division win. Because
Yeah.
they've lost, 7 straight now?
7 in a row.
They've lost 7 in a row, and I think 1 win in their last
10.
more than in the last 10, but they're 1 in 11 or something.
It's crazy.
But,
The Diamondbacks won 13 in a row.
if I'm the Dodgers, I do not want to play the Diamondbacks in the playoffs.
Yep.
It has to be said. And this could become a waste of a season. There's nothing to be worried about here. I think they'll still win the division. But in the playoffs, if they meet the Diamondbacks, they're not going to the World Series.
They definitely got to get their shit together.
Let's conclude with one hockey point. Ryan Ellis is out till the new year. And Nashville's defense just got crippled.
Yeah.
More on PK.
It's more on PK. If you were thinking of Nashville winning the division, I would hold back on that because he's missing a good 3 months of the season, and I don't think they'll get off to a good start. And it's been pretty much welcome week for the NHL. All the stars are in New York doing TV performances and promos and learning their Chinese, which has been fun to see. They're picking up pucks with chopsticks, which is just I don't know why they're doing that, but it's slowly coming, the NHL season, and I can't wait. I said it yesterday and I got some kickback from it, but whatever. The NHL is the most underrated league in the world. I'm coming to the realization, the people that just don't like hockey, either you don't get it or you don't appreciate it.
Most people just don't get it.
And if that's going to be the way you are, fine, but you're just stubborn because there's no other way of saying it. Because you come with me at what you think is better than hockey, and I'll just prove you wrong.
Come with me now.
Because it's just the most beautiful and greatest sport in the world. And that's I think the perfect way to wrap up this week's episode. Just that hockey's the greatest. USA Soccer needs some fixing. And we hope we have a good Sunday in betting in the NFL. That's this week's long edition of the Greenberg Hat Trick. Thank you for listening this far if you've gotten to the end. Tell your friends, tell your family. Still waiting on more feedback and questions for us to cover, but we would greatly appreciate it. And give us any tips that you would think we need to make this show better than what it is. But we're still fixing some few things. We're getting better as we go. And like we said, we're counting down till NHL season starts, eventually NBA starting, but NFL's back, Premier League's here, and God help us with USA Soccer. Thank you for listening.